everybody. I hope everyone is having a great day. Today I thought I would share with y'all a recipe that was my grandmother's. And my grandmother was probably the best cook in the world. I mean, honestly, if you had to have a contest and she was in it, she would win. She could just stick her finger in something and make it taste good. She was amazing. So anyway, I'm going to pass down this recipe to y'all. And maybe y'all's will turn out as good as hers did. I know mine won't. Like I said, she was just that good a cook. But it's still a really good recipe whether we have her here to stick her finger in it or not. All right, here's the ingredients. It's vegetable soup, 1.5 pounds ground beef, browned and drained, 1 can of tomatoes, 2 cans corn, 2 cans carrots, a half a bottle of ketchup, a 1/3 cup of sugar, salt and pepper to taste, 2 onions, a large bell pepper, 1.5 tablespoons white vinegar, and about 2 cups, about 3 to 4 cups potatoes. Are my ingredients. I forgot to buy the carrots, so I'm not putting carrots in it, but that's not an ingredient. I'm doing everything else but the carrots. So the onions, potatoes, bell peppers, ketchup, corn, tomatoes, and I'm actually going to do 2 of these. So there it is, sizzling up now. Isn't that pretty though? Look what a pretty picture that is. So one of the reasons I'm making this today is it's very cold outside, and you know how much a good hearty soup warms you up. And 2, what did I just knock over? 2, the main reason. If you watch our What's Up Wednesdays, last week we talked about fast food and how everyone's addicted to it and how delicious it is, and anyway, and how bad it really is for you. Well, ever since that show, I've been craving me a hamburger. So last night I went to my granddaughter's basketball game. I am not a huge basketball fan, but I didn't want to get a bad name as a grandmother because I haven't been to any this season yet. So this is my week to hit all the grandkids' basketball games. Anyway, I went, and on the way there, you pass a Burger King, which I know we were all talking about McDonald's, but Burger King is my favorite. I mean, you just can't beat a Whopper. And passing it, oh, you could just smell the Whopper in the air. I mean, you could just smell it. So I went on past. I went to the ball game. Coming back, I just couldn't take it anymore. Swerved into that parking lot. I ordered me a Whopper meal with cheese. I even got, y'all, and I never do this, I even got a real Coke. I mean, last night I was really bad. I pulled over in the parking lot because if you come home all the way back to our house with fast food, by the time it gets here, it tastes like rubber. I mean, it's just gross. It's cold, you know. So I pulled over in the parking lot and I took a bite of that Whopper. Oh my gosh, I started making sounds like I was having a fun time in the car. Whoops. And let me tell you, it was so stinking good, and I enjoyed every bit of it. Trying to be a little bit good, I left about a fourth of it and put it back in the bag and threw it away. I know, that was terrible. So anyway, I'm kind of riding on a guilt trip today, and I thought, okay, let's get something healthy in me, and that is why I am cooking vegetable soup today. All right, so we are ready to mix up everything. I'm going to put my vegetables in first. And I used fresh potatoes, fresh onions, and the bell pepper we actually grew in our garden this summer. And that is one thing we can grow here like crazy is bell pepper. And so we chop it up and we put it in little baggies and put it in the freezer. So I'm using that bell pepper. And it's so pretty, like I showed you a minute ago. And I'm just going to scrape it all into my pot. And I like to cut everything up really small. My grandmother did it that way. And hers was the very first soup I can remember really liking, because everybody else's soup has great big hunks of stuff in it, you know, and hunks of potatoes, hunks of just everything, hunks of carrots. Anyway, I like mine really small, and it just seems to taste better when it's like that too. So I did that. I did it like my grandmother does it. My mother likes the hunky part. She doesn't like to cut everything up real little, but I wanted to do it in the tradition of my grandmother, so that's what I have done. And I hope that it's going to be as good as my grandmother's. I have drained the corn. I'm going to put that in. And if I had carrots, I would have drained them and put that in too. I probably would have cut my carrots up really small, you know, if it was the sliced carrots. But since I don't have those, I guess I won't be cutting them up. All right. I'm going to open my tomatoes, and I use the organic ones. I use the non-GMO corn. How many of y'all out there have a manual can opener versus a electric? I love my manual can opener. I really do. It's KitchenAid. Looks like this. And it opens things up so much better than the electric I used to have. All right, I'm going to pour those in. Boy, might have to get a bigger pot. It is filling up. let's give that a good stir. Oh, goodness. Ooh, this looks so good, y'all. Looks so colorful. Everything smells so fresh and yummy. It just looks healthy. And better yet, it's not going to taste healthy. It's going to taste delicious. My goodness. I think maybe, well, let me try the ketchup. So I put the ketchup in and I thought, this just doesn't look right. There's something missing. My mother had written the recipe in a book for me last week. And anyway, it was just so thick. It didn't look like soup. So anyway, I called her and she goes, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I had to put about 2 cups liquid in it. And you can use beef broth, chicken broth. I think she said she just put 2 cups water in hers. I'm gonna do 2 cups chicken broth. So let's pour that in. And as I had to also get a bigger pot because my pot, I mean, it was overflowing. I wouldn't have been able to stir it. Let's see. Oh yes, that made it look like soup. All right. So now I'm just going to turn it on. I got on about 4. It's not quite medium low. It's in between medium and medium low. So, and just let it simmer. And I'm going to put the lid on and just let it simmer all day. And later on, if I think it needs a little more liquid, you can, you know, put that in it. You know what you want your soup to look like, and you know how soupy you want it or how thick you want it. So just keep an eye on that, and you ought to have a really delicious and hearty meal. I am gonna make cornbread, of course. If you live in the South, you have cornbread and soup. So I'm gonna make cornbread to go with mine. And tonight, we're gonna get all cozy in front of the TV with a big bowl of soup and cornbread, and it's gonna be yummy. Look at that, doesn't that look good? Oh my goodness, cannot wait.